My name is Terry Scott. I'm the NFIB rep in northern Wisconsin. And I work with businesses all over the country, but I pretty much see face-to-face businesses all over northern Wisconsin. So today, first of all, thank you for being here. If you're a member of NFIB, thank you so much for your support. If you're not a member, or if you've been a member in the past, please consider becoming a member, especially this year. We're in an election year, and this is a very pivotal election. It will determine the fate of all small business owners. And when I'm talking about a small business, I'm talking about 500 employees and less. That's the government's definition. And anyway, every business, it doesn't matter if you're a corporation, I do believe that you should believe in the power of small business, because small business makes up 99.9% of the gross national product of all businesses in the United States. So anyway, today what I'm going to do is I'm going to share some of the things about, this is just the latest, this came out for the state of Wisconsin. Then I'm going to speak just a little bit about fighting for the things that are going on the federal level. Now, when you're a member of NFIB, you're part of a membership of businesses all across America. And NFIB is the voice of small business. And what we do is we're your advocate at all of the 50 state capitals and in Washington, D.C. So you get to vote on the issues, you find out about issues that could affect your business, that are affecting your business, you find out about those and you have a vote. And what we do is we go ahead and we're your advocate. We go to all of the state capitals and in Washington, D.C., and we fight for your business so that you're out front and you're not forgotten about and you're not hurt by these particular issues. So now let's talk about the state of Wisconsin. I'm not going to read this, and you can actually request one of these with the link below, and I'll get one of these out to you. The other thing is, again, this has to do with Wisconsin, but understand that if you're in another state, I can get you information for your state as well if you request it. But the other thing is, a lot of states, I mean, as a business owner, we all hold hands. When one business owner gets hurt, we all get hurt. Now with this COVID, there's a lot of shutdowns and a lot of businesses that have gone out of business. There are a few businesses that if they're like in home remodeling and that sort of thing, their business has actually gone well. So what we need to do is please understand that your fellow business, like your restaurants and these other businesses, they've gotten hurt. And there are times when their season is good and your season is hurt. And they've pulled the slack and they've been able to do a little bit more with their membership. And now if you're doing well during this COVID time, please understand that now it's your opportunity to help the less fortunate businesses, because we need to even it out a little bit and help one another as a business owner. So in the state of Wisconsin, this personal property tax, NFIB was able to eliminate the personal property tax on machinery, tools, and patterns for all non-manufacturing businesses. And that's a $74 million tax savings for thousands of small business owners. And what we want to do, our challenge is to repeal it totally, because we feel that it's non-constitutional. You pay taxes on this once, why continue to pay taxes again? If you're an auto mechanic, this means that you pay sales tax one time, and now you're not paying personal property tax every year on that same tool. And that's a big deal. That's a lot of money. So we want to get rid of it totally. This Paycheck Protection Program. Now, NFIB, and again, this is really a national thing too, but in Wisconsin, NFIB made sure that small business was out front. Now, when this first stimulus check came out and everything, a lot of the big guys got it, and I can't blame them necessarily, because when it was put into law, it wasn't really designated for small businesses. I mean, it would help small businesses, and that's what it was, but it didn't say that big business couldn't be part of it. So big business gobbled up a lot of those funds. That was unfortunate. With this new stimulus that's going to come out, the big thing is there's going to be provisions in there stating that it's for the smaller businesses. NFIB urged legislators to exempt from state taxes any loan proceeds acquired through the Paycheck Protection Program, saving small business owners, borrowers, millions of dollars. Now, when that PPP came out, and people said, yes, I'll go ahead and I'll take that because that's a low interest loan of 1%. But most of it was forgivable if you followed the guidelines and did all of those things. NFIB had webinars to explain that, and you can still go click on the link below. I'll let you know how to get into those webinars, and you'll be able to get into those at no fee. And so you can learn about that. But the big thing is that now the IRS is thinking about that was supposed to be non-taxable. Now they want to come by and get that taxes. They want to charge tax on that. So we don't feel that that's something to do. You don't want to be changing the game rules after you've already given the funds and said it was going to be one way. Now you want to change it up another way. NFIB reins in regulations. NFIB led the battle to defeat legislation that expanded the authority of the unelected bureaucrats to write regulations that impact small businesses. Now, minimum wage. This is very interesting. I talked to a lot of small business people about this, and NFIB successfully eliminated a plan in the state budget that would have increased the state's minimum wage to $15 an hour with additional increases every year. Now, that's a big thing, with additional increases every year. I know that some people haven't really thought this through, or some people just think that, hey, you know what, $15 an hour would be awesome. Well, what about $20 an hour? What about $30 an hour? See, that's really not the point. So, one thing, I work with contractors. They already pay well above $15 an hour. They say that doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect you directly, but the place where you get your raw goods, if they had to pay $15 an hour for all of their employees, what happens? Where do they get that money? They get it from you, because they're going to raise the cost of those raw goods to you. And then how do you get your money to pay for that? What you're going to do is raise the cost of your goods, your finished goods, your remodeling, your houses, and everything else. You're going to raise the cost of that to your consumer. Then your consumer, who's getting $15 an hour, they think, hey, I got $15 in my pocket, but now they go out to a store to buy something, and it's commiserately, it's raised relatively, it's the same thing. So all they're doing is carrying more money on them. Basically, they're using credit cards and all that, I understand, but they're bringing back more money every week in their paycheck. It looks good, but it costs more to buy things at the grocery store because everything's been raised up relative to that $15 an hour. So it's really just a scheme. It's not going to work. You can't, the government likes to do this. They like to put a one-size-fits-all on everything. If you feel you can pay your employee $15 an hour or $30 an hour or whatever, great. You do it. You're a business owner. It's your prerogative. If you can make that work, make it work. But to ask every business owner to do that just doesn't make sense, and it's not going to work. You can't legislate one thing across the board. Some businesses can do it, some cannot. So then our challenge is the personal property tax. Again, we're fighting on that. We want to do away with it totally. Now, ban the box. Legislation has been introduced that would prohibit employers from asking about an individual's criminal history in the initial job application. That would be a good thing to know about, probably. And predictive work scheduling. Just very quickly, I'm not going to read the paragraph here, but what that is basically is the government, again, one size fits all kind of a thing. What they're saying is that you need to schedule your employees out 2-3 weeks in advance. And then for some reason, if you have a power outage or if you have some reason that you have to close down for 3 days, 3 weeks or whatever, you still have to pay your employees. And also, they're not making it easy on you. For instance, one person can't work for somebody else either. There's no options at all. So if you have to send your people home, but you still have to pay your rent and you have to pay your bills and everything else, how's that going to work? Not good. But then the paid family leave mandate includes small business. Legislation was introduced that would expand coverage under the state's mandate for family medical leave to small businesses with at least 25 employees. Under the current law, FMLA requirements only apply to businesses with 50 or more employees, so they brought that down to 25. The paid leave would be funded by payroll deduction from all employed individuals. Now, this, again, every one of these issues have a lot more meat to these things that I can't really discuss so much right now. But when we're face to face, or if you want to click below and we can communicate, I'll let you know. You'll get all of my information there so that you can go ahead and contact me. At the federal level, NFIB is fighting for your business on all fronts and at the federal level. NFIB's clout in Washington, D.C. positively influences members of Congress, candidates of office, the federal courts, and regulatory issues such as IRS, EPA, DOT, DOL, HHS, NLRB, CFPB, and OSHA. And NFIB's Small Business Legal Center is listed as one of the top 10 most influential organizations in the U.S. Supreme Court. When NFIB speaks, they do listen. So that's why your membership is so important, and your membership is really what you feel you can afford. So please, there's no reason at all that every business should not be a member of NFIB. We're not talking about a ton of money here. I've talked to business owners. I don't want to name names. I really don't. And there are some pretty large car companies, car lot dealerships, and they choose a very small kind of a membership fee. And you know what? We love you. As a member, we'll work for you. We have a one member, one vote policy, regardless of how much you choose to use as your membership fee per year. But understand, with more, we can do more. And I feel that maybe somebody who talked to you about NFIB did not share with you the value of being a member, because it's like having an employee that's working for you in Washington, D.C. and in all 50 state capitals. Believe me, we fight hard for your business. And I'm just going to set it on the line here. I'm going to say it straight. Your business would be in a lot more trouble if it wasn't for NFIB working in the background. That's just how it is. Out of sight, out of mind, I understand. But while you're running your business every day, NFIB is working hard for you in all 50 state capitals and in Washington, D.C. You can't tell that I'm very, very passionate about NFIB, can you? Well, I hope you can, because I've been a small business owner for a long time. When I heard that NFIB had been around for 75 years and doing things to help my business, I didn't know about them until I knew about them. If this is the first time you've heard about NFIB, again, click the link below. We need you as a member. So anyway, let's talk about the victories. NFIB supported the Paycheck Protection Program and the Economic Injury Disaster Loan, the EIDL, and Advanced Emergency Grant programs. NFIB also supported flexibility on payroll dates during the COVID-19 pandemic. NFIB created the 20% small business deduction for all businesses organized as sole proprietors, as corporations, partnerships, and LLCs. And that should just blow your mind. That right there, a 20% deduction. Now, when Trump had this Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, it was all going to be about the big guys. Okay, I won't mention the names, the big box stores and all of that. NFIB was the only organization that stood up and said, that's not fair. What are we going to do for the smaller businesses, the S Corps and down? Well, because we did, NFIB did that, well, then small businesses have a 20% tax break. So normally, this is absolutely amazing, is that if your taxes this year was 100,000, it would have been 120,000. No, if my math is right. And so that's $20,000 that you're able to work with to improve your business and to help your business. And you know what? It wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for NFIB, and that is a fact. So if you're not a member of NFIB, you've been reaping that 20% for the past several years that this has been going on. Hallelujah. Thank you, NFIB. Well, now you know it was NFIB that did that. So if you're a member, again, thank you for your support. But think of the money that you're able to get because NFIB did that one thing. When you're going to be renewing your membership, please consider that, because I've had members that say, you know what, thank you for that. And because of that, we're going to increase our membership giving this year because of what you've done. Obviously, you want to help the organization that helped you. But here's the challenge. And the challenge is that was never made permanent. That was made to sunset. And sometime. So now, right now, especially with this election year, there's a faction going on that's out there, and they're saying they want to get rid of that. And so what they're doing is they need a place now to recoup this money that they got from tax, the stimulus money that went out to everyone. Well, they're looking for places to get more money. And so that 20% is going to go away unless we hold our feet to the fire. And anyway, imagine this. Right now, if they were to take 20% away from you as a small business owner and you're already hurting, that would be like a tax cut. I mean, not a tax cut, but a tax, more tax, 20% tax increase. 20% tax increase when a business can't even keep their doors open right now, hardly. What do you say to that? So please, let's keep together. Let's help one another as business owners and then hold our feet to the fire and make sure that that tax becomes permanent, that tax deduction becomes permanent. NFIB effectively repealed the small business health insurance tax beginning in 2021. They repealed the Cadillac tax on the employer-sponsored health insurance scheduled to begin 2022 and repealed the medical device tax. So I'm only sharing some of these things with you. I'm not going to go in real depth to them. There's plenty of reasons why you need to be a member of NFIB. And then NFIB supported the administration's new flexible health insurance arrangement, individual coverage health reimbursement arrangements, that will be available beginning in 2020 to allow small businesses to reimburse individual market health insurance premiums and healthcare expenses for employees. So again, talk to your CPA or your financial accountant, and they can share those things with you. They're not always going to tell you that NFIB was responsible for that because sometimes they don't even know. They just know that what they see on the books and things. So our challenge is that tax relief. So NFIB will continue to support additional recovery legislation in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. Priorities include additional targeted financial assistance, liability protections, tax relief to incentivize safe reopening, unemployment insurance reform, and protection from additional regulations. Then, a recent IRS decision to disallow the deductibility of forgiven expenses threatens the success of the Paycheck Protection Program. I talked about that earlier. That was created in the CARES Act. So the IRS now, first of all, it wasn't going to be taxable. Now they want it to be taxed. That's crazy. Why? How can you change the plan after it's already been out there? That's not fair. That's not right. NFIB will continue to support legislation that makes that 20% small business deduction permanent because it will expire after 2025. And then labor. NFIB opposes extensions and expansions to paid sick leave and paid family and medical leave mandates. Now, I know that sounds like a really good thing to have. It's just that they don't have provisions in that to protect the small business. And again, the government is one size fits all kind of a thing, and they're not really paying attention to how it can hurt certain businesses. And again, I don't have time for that, but if you click below and you communicate with me, I can share more on that. Also, NFIB will continue to oppose legislation taking away workers' right to a secret ballot, a card check, which compromises the privacy of small businesses, exposes small business to costly boycotts and protests, and significantly restricts the use of independent contractors. And regulations. NFIB urges Congress to exclude unrelated small business mandates from the defense bill. The House-passed defense bill included an amendment that threatens the personal privacy of nearly every small business with 20 or fewer employees. And they're talking about something that used to be called the Transparency Act, and then it was the Beneficial Owner Act and things. And basically, it has some pretty severe penalties for not reporting all of your information about business owners. And my understanding is, and I know this, is that the truck industry, and we have plenty of trucking businesses that are members as well, and they're already mandating where they have to report so much of this about their employees. And it's just an invasion of privacy. But now for the other small business owners, there's a $10,000 fine or up to 4 years in prison if you don't comply with this. And it already passed in I believe the Senate, and we don't want it to pass in the House. But again, if you have questions about that, I can get you information on that. NFIB will continue to increase flexibility for the PPP loans and the liability protection for reopening businesses during the COVID-19 pandemic and thereafter. Now, what's interesting with this is as we're reopening businesses, business owners are liable for so many things. There's so many new things coming out, and we're just asking that small businesses be protected. So again, that is the information about the state of Wisconsin. If you're in another state, let me know. I'll get you information on your state. And of course, I can help you if you're not a member anywhere in the United States. But I especially work face-to-face with the people in Wisconsin, the northern half of Wisconsin. But I've been in a lot of different states and all around the state of Wisconsin, southern Wisconsin, whatever. I love our state. And also in Minnesota and wherever. So if you want information, I can get you this information. Click below. Now, the other thing is every business, every member of NFIB, you get a lot of benefits, and I won't go into all of them right now, but one of them is this workplace poster. If you don't have this workplace poster on your wall, then you end up getting fined if you don't have it. Your employees need to see this. And you may be getting phone calls right now saying that you can buy these posters for $50, $100, $150, $200. You get them free. They're updated every year. NFIB, we know our business. We know your business. We know business in 50 state capitals and Washington, D.C. So they're updated. You know that they're right. They're good. We give those to you as a member at no fee. So understand when you're looking at the fee schedule that you're saving $150 right there, basically, right off the top. So again, that's a reason why there's really no excuse. If you're a very, very small business, if you're a single business owner, all you are is like a contractor, and I don't say only, of course, but you're a one-person type of a business, you can be an NFIB member. If you've got 500 employees, you can be an NFIB member. And we've got a lot of members that have been small businesses and they've grown into huge corporations, and they're still members because they believe and they remember what it was like when they were a small business owner. So that's one thing. Then the other thing is, if you're a member, please watch the videos. I email you information, you get information emailed to you. Make sure that your email is up to date too, so that you get the notification saying that the videos, the webinars are available. They're recorded so you can watch them later, and that's important too. But during the PPP and the COVID time and all of that, we've had so many people watching these webinars because we were the resource for small business owners to learn this information, this vital information that was so important. So the workplace posters and then also the webinars. Now, if you've never been a member of NFIB, then, and again, NFIB has been around for about 76 years now. So if you've never been a member, or if you want to be a member and you've been a member before, again, renew, become a member, click below, you'll get my information so that I can register you. We can do it over the phone, and then you'll get a receipt immediately in your email box. Very legit business. We're all about helping you. And you know what? I've been to our place, our headquarters down in Nashville, Tennessee. The culture that we have, the way that NFIB treats small business owners, I mean, you are treated like royalty. We truly love small business, and we want small business to survive. And we fight for small business. So please understand, it's good to be a member. Be a member, click below. So you'll get my contact information. And the other thing is, you'll also get information as far as when these webinars take place. They're by the legal team, and I mentioned this, I'm not sure where we talk about it right here. NFIB Small Business Legal Center is listed as one of the top 10 most influential organizations at the U.S. Supreme Court. And the other thing is, if you have a question, they can't represent you in court, but as a member, if you have a question about your business, pick up the phone, call the legal team of NFIB. We have a lot of clout. We can answer your question. We're here to help your business. So use my link below, and then I'll show you how you can get to these webinars, and you can be part of that. Even as a non-member, we want you to watch these webinars because we believe in small business that much that we would rather you survive and be in business than to be a member. I mean, we don't want to take food off your table, but it's all about business. We want your business to survive, and so that's why we make it so affordable. So you'll be able to then see a suggested membership fee schedule, and again, it's based on the number of your employees, but we actually have some small businesses that only have very few employees, but their membership fee is more than some of these companies that have 500 employees. Why? Because they want a bigger dog in the fight. With more, we can do more. So look at that schedule. It's so reasonable. It's crazy reasonable. So there's no excuse for not being a member. If you have a business, you need to be a member of NFIB. I believe that strongly. And the other thing is, you may think, well, you know what? I'm not really in business. I'm a salesperson. I'm a real estate agent. I do, hair on the side or something like that. If you're paying taxes, if you're paying business tax, you're a member. I mean, you're a small business. And I personally have salespeople who are members of NFIB. I have people who are contractors. One person contractor, hammer and saw kind of an operation. He's a member. He can afford it. We make it so affordable. Your vote is so important. And then we have, like I said, other people that have a lot of employees. So again, click on the link. You're going to get information about the webinars. You'll get the suggested membership fee schedule. You'll get my phone number so you can pick up the phone and say, hey, Terry, I want to become a member. And then you'll get a receipt right away in your email box, and I'll explain everything about your benefits. And there's a lot that I can't go into right now. And one last thing is when you join, you'll also get that workplace poster. That's important. You're going to get a fine if you don't have one of those up. And yes, you can buy them elsewhere, but why? As a member, they're going to be up to date every year, and it's going to be at no fee for you. There's other cool things about becoming a member. NFIB members do business with other NFIB members. It's just a wonderful business owner organization. And that's about it. You've been with me a half hour now. Thank you for watching. My information is below. If you're a member, thank you again for your support. If you're not a member, be a member. So again, click on the link below. Let's make it a great day. Let's make it a great country. Let's make it a great business. Do well. Bye for now.